when you get things right in spring. I've only been here for a couple of hours. I've been baiting this swim for a little while now. Old haunt of mine. Got one in the net, low to mid 20. While I'm sorting bits out for it, the other rod's gone. Biggest common in the lake. Probably 34, 35 pound at the minute. Absolute result. Get them sorted. I've only got one net with me, so I'm gonna get them out, show them to you. Happy days. Well, I finished my final Raspberry journal on Monday. That was my final session. And I've got a filming trip coming up with Avid on a water close to home that I fished for a real long time. I've actually done a few baiting trips, and I plan to do a quick night tonight. This is the Saturday. Finished work, got over. I've had 2 bites in about 2 hours fishing. Incredible. It's not an easy water, but if you can get them tuned into the bait this time of year, there's some good fishing to be had. This is the first one, just under 22 pound. A real cracker, lovely colours. Bit of a bull head. Good fun. I'm fishing up to some markers where some snags once were, so I'm fishing with real tight clutches, just on the throwing stick. It was quite evident there was fish out there straight away. Getting on the bait, I see a bit of fizzing on the spot, and the right hand rod was away. I've got one much bigger in the net, and that literally went while we were sorting out the camera kit. So my dad's with me. We're going to get this one back and get the bigger one out now. What a result. Nice to finally get my spring off the mark. A few leeches on them, but they're definitely awake. I'll show you the next one. And now the main event, the biggest common in the lake. We've just got her weighed up, a few ounces short of 35 pound. Looking awesome, a few leeches on her. As soon as I picked the rod up, playing out into this bay, I knew it was a good fish. It was just powerful and plodding. And sure enough, when it popped up for the net, my thoughts were confirmed. Absolute breeze block of a common, known as the pucker common. Looking incredible in her April colours. What a result. Get hold of her properly. There we go. Happy days. After a real slow few weeks on Raspberry, feels really good to be holding up a proper one. Still got the night to go. I've got to get the rods back out. So yeah, I think there could be a few more on the cards. Happy days. Morning, just having my first coffee of the day. It's quite a cold night. Nothing's happened through the night. I did lose what I'm pretty certain was a tench just into dark. Had a real sort of tappy battle for a few seconds and then bumped off. Lead was still on, so I'm pretty certain it was a tench. I did see one showing out there last night. Did think we might have got one in the night. Just had a real savage liner on the middle rod, so I definitely think one's on the cards this morning. Like a wally, I forgot my brolly, so I've ended up doing the night under the stars, not out of choice. It was a light frost, so yeah, I'm a little bit chilly this morning, so hoping this coffee will warm me up. And yeah, if I can pinch one more, then I think I'll be off, because like I say, we're filming in a couple of weeks and I don't want to overdo it as such, so I'll be putting a bit more bait in when I leave. And yeah, back hopefully for a real good filming trip, so really good result. I'm over the moon, so if I can have one more this morning, I'll be well happy. So I'll keep you updated if that happens, but if not, I'll catch up with you next time. This little chap is a new addition to the swim. A customer where I was working this week was sorting out their garden. They've only moved in a little while ago. They said they were going to take it down the dump, so I said I've got a home for him. So yeah, he's come to the swim. We've had a lucky Buddha over here in the past, but he was unfortunately stolen, so I've replaced him with Harry the hippo. Right, well I thought it was time to catch up quick. So quite a bit's happened since we last spoke, when I had those 2 fish on the little club water before we were filming. So I had a really good filming trip. I'm not going to say much more than that. Hopefully the video will be out early part of this summer. And then following on from there, I had a week on the sitch. So on this link, you'll be able to watch that if you haven't already. I had a really good trip on there. I had 3 fish. I weren't really on the fish, but I was happy with the ones I had. I feel like I made the most of an opportunity. I'll play a little bit of footage over this. So the first fish was a lovely 28 pounder, real lovely mirror, which the sitch is known for. And then literally half hour after that, I then had another fish, a mid-30 common, a real beast of a fish. And then following into the second night, I had an upper double. So after that, the fish moved off me and I just couldn't really get back on them. But a really enjoyable trip with a nice bunch of lads. So now it's time to focus on my own fishing. So I'm back down the club water. The week at the sitch, I knew it was going to fish well on here, and a lot of the good fish come out in that spell, including the big one. A little bit down in weight. Hopefully it's not an issue and she'll start getting back up there. But yeah, I really want to get stuck into her over the next month. My syndicate doesn't start till June the 1st. So yeah, I've got probably 3 weeks to try and do 2 or 3 evenings a week and get over here as much as I can. So yeah, I'll keep you updated with what I can. As I've mentioned in the past, it's quite difficult to do any filming over here, so if I do, it'll probably be bits like this on the phone, and the bites tend to be in for quite late in the evening if you have them, so a lot of the time it's just going to be stills, but I'll try and keep you in the loop with it as I can. And yeah, hopefully a few of these wise old commons turn up this year, so really looking forward to it. Well, I thought it was time to bring you back up to speed with what I've been up to. So I'm currently sat at the club water and the bug has definitely bit back over here. I had my first one out of here last week, so it's Friday now. I caught one last Friday evening, 26-12 common, which was a really nice start to the season. Yeah, I'm just really hoping to get amongst them this year. I've got no sort of shame in saying this has definitely been my bogey water for me, really. I know the lake well, I know when the big ones come out and where they come from, but it's just never really sort of fell into place for me. And the big one in here, it's getting old now, and I really want to make a big effort for it. So as I've mentioned, my new syndicate starts June the 1st, but it looks like they're going to spawn on there any time, and I've got a few bits on in June, so I don't think I'm going to start on there till probably July, maybe even August, and just really try and concentrate on here. It's quite a deep water, so they don't tend to spawn till sort of mid-June, so we've got a while left yet. So yeah, I'm just really trying to put my effort into here and yeah, try and enjoy it. So I'm trying to fish areas that I haven't fished loads, as I feel like I've definitely fished this lake wrong in the past, and I've sat in swims thinking, oh, that's where the big one comes from, and predominantly it does, but I've definitely missed out on opportunities for other fish because a lot of the other big ones actually tend to get caught around the lake a bit more. So I'm trying to fish around the lake as to what I see and where I actually think I'll get bites from, not where I think that big one's going to come from next. So yeah, I'm just trying to enjoy my fishing and, to be honest, just try and catch as many of them as I can out of here. So yeah, really enjoying it, and I'm really excited for this year on here. It's going to see a lot of effort and hopefully quite a few of these big old commons played ball. So yeah, really exciting times. Well, I don't know what to say. I'm shaking like a leaf. I've actually been crying, but I've dreamt of catching this fish since 2017. I've just done a video saying how this has been my bogey water, and there in the net is the fish that I've dreamt about catching for a long time. A very old, very special carp. I'm in total shock. I'm gonna get it out now and show you. I can't believe it. There she is, fish of my dreams. 43 pound, 4 ounces, a new PB common for me, and so special. Let's get her up and show you. Well, this really is the stuff of dreams. I'm in total shock right now. Fish that I just never thought I'd catch. Photoed it for people. Finally, she's in my album, looking absolutely immaculate. A little bit down in weight. I have seen her a lot bigger than this, but she's absolutely immaculate. So hopefully it's not an issue. Right, she's not happy. Oh. Come on, big girl. Look at that. Cannot believe it. Absolutely speechless. What an incredible carp. Far older than I am. I can't believe it. So special to me. Anybody that knows me knows how bad I wanted this fish, what I've put into this fish. Thank you. I cannot believe it. What a special carp. Thank you, old girl. You don't know how happy you have made me. Oh, what a special carp. Come on. Back you go. Thank you. Amazing. That has made me so happy. Well, I finally composed myself. It's the day after and I'm just floating around, to be honest. I can't actually believe that I caught it. To anybody that knows me, a hell of a lot has gone into that carp, and I've never felt emotion like it in fishing. I'm not going to bore you all with the ins and outs of why it meant so much, but I started fishing on here May 2017 and I've fished it on and off ever since. You know, there's been periods where I've not fished it a lot, and there's been periods where I've fished it really hard. Some good friends of mine have caught it. You know, I've seen it on the bank, and the one thing I've always said is, you know, I've never got the ump when someone's caught it, or, you know, a new member's turned up and caught it early on. I've just helped whoever's needed it, and I've always just felt that karma would one day repay me. And a friend of mine caught it last November on a really tough day for me, and, you know, he was gutted, but I just felt karma would pay me back, you know, and it just lit something more in me, and that's probably why I fished it hard in the autumn. And I just knew I had to catch it after that, and I'm so glad that I've stuck with it, you know. I mean, I've caught some special carp, but the feeling just completely overwhelms me. And, you know, to anybody out there that's, you know, maybe chased the fish for a long time and walked away from it, my advice would be to go back and get it while it's still there, because the feeling is just indescribable and means so much more than just, you know, any other capture. And you know, a very old carp. It's not as old as a lot of people make out, but it's a very old carp. And yeah, definitely a bit of Essex history. So it's just, for me, feels like a massive weight's been lifted off my shoulders, because whenever I've fished elsewhere, I've always had this nagging feeling of I should be here,
you know, and to persevere with it. So yeah, just, I don't know, amazing feeling. So the weight was so irrelevant for me, you know. As I said, I mean, it's actually done 50 pound in the past, but I could have caught it at 37 and it would have meant as much, you know. It was just the emotional attachment to it meant so much more than the weight. And yeah, massive thank you to everybody that's got in touch with me and sent me messages. And yeah, so moving on from there, as I said yesterday before it happened, my plan was to sort of stick it out on here. There's still some fish in here that I desperately like to catch. By catching that big, and what it means is there's certain areas of this lake where that fish doesn't really come from, but a lot of the other fish do come from. So going forward now, I'm going to continue to do a few trips on here. I'm not going to fish it with the intensity that I'd planned to, and I probably will go to my new syndicate a little bit earlier than I'd planned to now. So the plan's probably to head there for July after they've spawned. And yeah, so leading up to that point, I'm just going to keep coming over here for a couple of evenings a week if I can, and yeah, just enjoy it, to be honest. You know, I've changed some things this year, and that's what made it all the sweeter. You know, I fished this same swim for my last 4 evenings. I caught that fish the week before, and that's what feels nice about it. I feel like I've put something together and made it happen, rather than just dropping in a swim and I caught it. You know, I'm using the baiting spoon. I made some adaptations to the spoon because I actually ended up with a tangle on the Wednesday night. Changed something on the spoon. I fiddled around with rigs a little bit. What I've been using with bait, I've just been trying to do something just a little bit different to everyone else, and it was amazing last night. You know, I set up and I see a fish where I plan to put a bait, and the one thing I'd say with a baiting spoon is if you put a bait on top of a fish, there's every chance you'll get a bite very quickly. And I had that bite within the hour of that rod going out, and after getting them out, sitting back, I was watching, you know, it was really busy last night, and because at the end I'm looking down the lake, and I was watching marker floats going out, spoms, and catapulting loads of baits out there, and I just thought, I'm so glad I'm doing something differently. And you know, to get the one you dearly want, feeling like you've done something different, just all the sweeter. So yeah, I'm back now. I'd planned to do today, and to be honest, it's only because Soph's at work. She's got plans tonight, and I just thought, you know what, I'm just gonna go and soak it up. And yeah, I've had a couple of tench already this afternoon, and yeah, a couple of lads that I've known for a long time. I see them, you know, I had a nice chat with them, and yeah, just an amazing feeling. So this would have been my 6th year on here, so a long quest, and you know, I can finally move into the future now without that nagging feeling and just focus on wherever I head next. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the story, and you know, hopefully it lights something up in you, because yeah, it meant everything to me. So yeah, very happy memory. So yeah, obviously moving on from here, I'll keep you updated if any more show up. And then yeah, my next video after this point will be moving into the summer on my new syndicate. So I'm really looking forward to getting over there, because I've not even seen it yet. So yeah, it's exciting times. So yeah, I'll catch up with you in the next little while. Can you believe it? Another one of the 18. Fish known as the unknown. 34.12. What a result. All treated up. Another old one. Slipper back. Awesome. Well, we're back down the lake. So this is the following evening from last night's result. Yeah, couldn't believe it. Absolutely mental nights fishing. I was actually the only one on the lake last night, which I just couldn't believe. We were due quite a lot of rain, which didn't actually turn up, so I don't know if that put a lot of people off, I'm not sure. And it was actually the new moon yesterday, so I couldn't believe that no one was there. I had 3 tench and a bream that night, and I had a tench at 9 o'clock, spooned the rod back out, and at 20 to 10 it bust off. I had a real hit and hold battle with that fish. yeah, rod just busted off. I didn't even know it was a carp at first, and or until I was on the rod, and then yeah, real hit and hold against those snags there, and yeah, luckily I won. And yeah, as soon as it popped up, I knew it was another better one. Turned it in the net, and yeah, sorry about that. Was rudely interrupted by yet another tench. Yeah, first one of the evening so far. So yeah, like I say, as soon as I turned it in the net, I knew what fish it was. I photoed that fish for somebody in the past, so it was nice to get that one in the album, especially so soon after the big girl. So yeah, I've come back this evening, and there's someone in the swim that I've been fishing. So it's the first time I've not fished it now for a few trips. So I'm in the next swim along, which sort of is the other end of the snags I've been fishing. So yeah, this is the area that I'd like to concentrate on for these, you know, however long I'm going to be fishing here for the next couple of weeks, say. So yeah, full of confidence. I'm really confident in my approach. You know, I'm catching a lot of the tench as well, but if the carp are amongst that, then I really don't mind it. So I'm really enjoying this style of fishing. And yeah, I mean, if a couple more of them old ones turn up, then I couldn't ask for more. So yeah, absolutely loving it at the minute. So yeah, I'll catch up with you after this trip, and hopefully something else happens. Well, we got the final piece of the puzzle, the one I dearly wanted, and I said to myself, if I catch this one, my time's up, and I've got it. Done 2 evenings this week, so since the unknown, the lake's actually really switched off. It's been really slow, not many fish have come out, and the tench have been relentless, but I've kept going. Done a couple of evenings this week, stuck to my guns, kept fishing the swim, kept rebaiting those spots, and I've been thinking to myself, you know, I think the fish are starting to think about spawning, but those old females, they sit back a little bit, and yeah, we've got the one I dearly wanted. We're losing the light, so I'm going to get her up now and show you. It's not happy, gave me a hell of a scrap after a couple of tench. I wasn't sure it was a carp, and it was surging out into the lake, swimming towards me, but got it. I said to myself, this was the final one. If I got this one, I'd call it a day. I've got it, can't believe it. Look at that, another real old one, 34 on the nose, one I dearly wanted. They don't make carp like this anymore, and that's why I was so desperate to get them this year, because I just knew they haven't got long. Well, let's hope they've still got plenty of years left, but they're getting on a bit now. Little Lindens, 34 on the nose. What an incredible few weeks angling. Thank you so much. Wow. See if I can get some snaps before it gets dark. Absolutely made up. Wow. Back you go, old girl. You have made me a very happy man. Unbelievable thing fishing. To have caught what I've caught in just a handful of bites. It's unbelievable, but I'd always rather get the ones I want than loads of them. Absolutely awesome. Well, it's Monday morning. As you can see, I'm at home having a coffee. I'm just about ready to head off for a trip with Soph to Wales. Not seen a lot of Wales, so yeah, really looking forward to it. Heard good things, ready to see some lovely beaches, and the weather is spot on. So we've got a few days there, and then we're going to pop into London on the way back for a couple of nights. Much needed recharge. Going to switch the phone off for a few days and just, yeah, enjoy some time away. Come back down from that capture Friday. I just cannot believe that was my next capture. You know, 4 fish, to have ticked those ones off. I couldn't really have asked for more. I said to myself, if I caught that one, then I'd call it quits. You know, there's fish in there that I'd still love to catch, but for me, that was the last one I really did want. And the chances of repeats are getting higher now. And you're never going to catch them all. I mean, some people try to, but there's just too much good fishing out there, and I've sat on that water for long enough, you know. So I'm not totally sure what I'm going to do next in terms of my local fishing, because now I've started travelling for my fishing, obviously it's not possible for me to get over to those lakes every weekend, and that's why I always try and sort of keep something local on the go, and that water was perfect for it. So I've got a couple of really good waters close to home. Obviously that one that I caught those couple of fish in the February last year, that's a really nice little water, so I may have a go on there. And then there's a lake over the road from that that's full of really big commons and lots of carp. So I've done a little bit on there, not really connected with the place, but I'm gonna have a bit of a dabble, see what I fancy and go from there. So yeah, I've done a bit of a spring clean, got some things re-spooled and what have you, and yeah, I'm just gonna see how I feel when I get back. So yeah, I mean, I'll probably catch up with you on my next trip, and then I'll probably call it a day for this spring vlog. I can't believe how this spring's turned out, to be honest. After a slow sort of winter leading into early spring, it's been unbelievable really these last few weeks. Not caught loads, but in terms of the quality of the fish I've caught and targets for me personally, I couldn't have asked for more. So yeah, really looking forward to this break, well needed recharge, and yeah, really looking forward to the next few months ahead. So I will catch up with you in the next week or so. Well, my journey on the new syndicate has begun. I wasn't planning to fish this weekend. As I said when we last spoke, I wasn't planning to come here till July, but I had this weekend free. I've got a social with some friends next weekend, and I just thought, let's get down to the lake, because I've not even seen it yet. I've not done the drive, nothing. I don't know what the access is like or anything. So I've got down, it took me about 2 hours, so it's about 90 miles from home. So I've just driven through the gates, just found my way round to what I think is the car park. I'm gonna head round now, so I can't wait to see it. So far, it looks great already. So yeah, really looking forward to getting round, and I'll show to you what I can. And yeah, I'll catch up with you a bit later when I'm all sorted. Well, I've seen my first carp, the first corner I've looked in. Don't know if you can see that. There you are, just over there. Lovely long carp. Just sitting there, enjoying the gap amongst the weed beds. Yeah, this is the first corner of the lake. It's amazing. Well, if you hadn't guessed, my new syndicate is Norvey Park in Peterborough. My first impressions, it looks absolutely amazing. I knew it was a pretty special venue. Yeah, I've only walked into 3 or 4 swims, and yeah, it's pretty special. Covered in weed, lily pads all over it, little corners, reeds everywhere. Yeah, I think it's going to be an exciting place to fish, that's for sure. Just going to navigate my way round. I've already seen one chap, he was pretty helpful. So yeah, just going to see what I can find and try and work it out. No rush, got plenty of hours of light, so let's see where we end up. So I think this is where I'm going to start. A swim called Ransom's. I've actually seen a little bit of video on this swim before, so I've made my way round. There's a few lads on, they're well spread out, so I've seen some fish across over in that channel where that swan is. There's a couple of lads fishing over there, so I think I'm going to walk over on that side again, just check out that swim opposite there. I didn't really like the look of the line angles over there, so I think this is a good place to start, but I'm going to check out over there because I did see a fish over in that swim, whereas over here I haven't actually seen a fish, but I think I can present well. I've definitely seen some fish down this end, so I'll check out over there, and if not, I think this is where I'll be heading. I think I've changed my mind. I've come back round here, seen another fish. I think I've worked out roughly where the 3 spots will be. So, you've got to go by where you see the fish, not where you think it's most easy to fish. So, I've got a few hours of light left, so hopefully I can work out where to put these rods. Yeah, I've seen 2 different fish out in front of here now. Those fish I see earlier were along this bank down here, so might see what I can find along this margin. Definitely looks nice down here. So yeah, we'll see what we can find, but yeah, just buzzing to experience my first night at Northey Park. Let's get the van. Good morning. Well, nothing to report from my first night. I don't think I fished as well as I could have last night. I fished with just the 2 rods. I struggled to find a third area and I started to struggle with the light. I was happy with the 2 areas I found, both around 4 foot. For here that's quite deep. Both clear, but because of the swans and the depth, I wanted to fish with a spoon, but with the weed it didn't work out as well as I pictured it to. So yeah, easy to look back now, and I should have just cast the rigs out but placed the bait with a spoon. But yeah, you live and learn. So I'm not seeing a great deal this morning. I know a chap down in the far end, he's had 3 this morning, and that's where I see those fish yesterday. I'm not sure if I can really access anywhere around there. So what I'm going to try and do is just fish another swim, just so, you know, if nothing does occur, I've learned something from the trip and fished a couple of swims, found a couple of spots, and yeah, all things to take from. So yeah, I'm going to give it another hour or so here, and yeah, I'm going to reel them in and have a wander around and see what's happening. Right, well, the rods are finally sorted. So we've got 2 out to the left there, and this one here. I'm fishing this one to a clearing to the back of some weed out there. I've seen a couple of fish milling about there today. So someone was actually in this swim yesterday, but as soon as I walked in it, I just fancied it. It covers a lot of water. I can see a lot of the lake from here. It's a nice margin down here, but it's actually weedy along there. I couldn't find any clear spots. There's a big clear area out, as I say, where I'm fishing there. And then this side, I've got the right hand rod in a hole in the weed over there. I spent a bit of time raking that one. It wasn't as clean as I'd have liked, so I raked it for a good half hour. It's nice and clean now. This one, I've got down this margin here, off the side of these reeds. I've had a line on that rod already. There's a fish moving out of the reeds, it's picked up the line. So yeah, we'll see what happens. The lake's really quiet. There's only, I think, 3 on, which I'm amazed by, to be honest. Not seeing a great deal of fish today. There's been odds and sods around the lake. So yeah, I'm just trying to find my bearings, really. I've done a full lap of the lake today. I've managed to actually get round to a vast majority of it. There's only one bit, which is over there. There's like a bridge across that island there. I haven't seen that bit. But other than that, I've walked the whole way round. There's an island over there, which I had a look at today as well. So yeah, I feel like I've, you know, already taken something from this trip in the fact of just working out the best way around the lake, where the car can be parked and what have you. So yeah, a good start. But yeah, we'll see what happens tonight. I'm definitely more confident tonight than I was yesterday. Rods have gone out a lot better. Well, that's the end of my first trip. So nothing occurred. I had a tench around midnight. Not a bad sign. I'd rather that than nothing. So I knew I was presented out there. But yeah, time to call it a day. It's only about 10 in the morning. I'd normally give it a lot longer than this, but I actually don't feel great. I probably shouldn't have gone fishing, but it is what it is. Done plenty of walking, plenty of looking, so I'm going to go and lead about a couple of swims that are a bit further down. Just didn't feel it was the one. As you can see, it's quite windy, and with the lines high dropping into the weed, I just don't feel like they're sitting out there too nice. So rather than spend loads of time sitting behind rods that I'm not particularly confident behind, I'm going to go and lead about a couple of swims. There's one there, and then one a bit further on up there. And yeah, so if I can get some clips in the bank, and that all helps turning up on a Friday, you know, the more swims that I know, the quicker I can get them rods out, the better. So yeah, I will be catching up with you next week on my social. So got a couple of nights on a local water. Yeah, so it should be good. I will catch up with you then. Well, I just thought I'd share this one with you before I go. So I've managed to actually lead about in 5 different swims this trip, so I'm really happy with that. So this is the Carp swim, and it's an unbelievable view of the lake. I don't know if you can see through that channel there, that you can actually see the whole of the main body of the lake there. And then this section here, I believe was once a separate pond, and then the owner has dug out the causeways and made it into another section of the lake. So that island I was talking about, that is through there. So you can fish the other side of these reeds, and then where I first showed you that fish I saw when I arrived, that's the other side of this channel. So this done some fish while I was here this weekend. 3 stockies come out, and I've seen fish in here as well. Just had a lead around, and it turns out it's the deepest part of the lake I've found so far, with 7 foots in places. So for here, that's really deep. So yeah, I definitely like the look of this area. So yeah, I found sort of 2 or 3 areas. So you've got not a lot of weed at all in this zone, same down here, but this channel is stuffed with weed. So yeah, until I go out in the boat, it's a shame really, because it's so windy, it's just not worth taking the boat out. I don't think I'll see a lot, but it's a shame because there's nobody fishing the whole middle zone of the lake, so I'd have got to see a lot of it today. But yeah, hopefully next time I'm back it'll be just as quiet, and the wind would have settled a bit. Because the thing is, I'm finding clear spots, but I can't get the marker up on them. So until I'm out in the boat, then I'll know the depths and sort of how fishable they are. So yeah, really enjoyable trip. This is the sort of trip I wanted it to be, really. I really don't want to rush this place. I want to enjoy it for all it is. So yeah, really looking forward to getting back already. Time to get on the road.